go back into open session. It's Tuesday, June 26, 2018. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Born, not born.
Okay, minutes and reports received and filed.
None.
Okay. Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports, upcoming meetings and events.
We got another Power and Purple fundraiser Wednesday night, so make sure you come by Gunbows and visit.
Are you at
Yeah.
Bartender.
I'll be up there, the mayor will be up there, and get a selfie with her. Leadership Forum Friday morning, and we have that MSPCP meeting and a tour, I think, Friday morning too. I'll try to make it to that. The Salute to America concert Saturday.
Yes.
That's all I got.
Michelle, is it on with? It's just has that out there. See, how many out there? I never know anything. Well, this is supposed to be gone. Blue is supposed to be gone.
Christy and I met with the Cosmo Club yesterday, and we're possibly getting closer to getting them a space and working something out at the new health building. So they were very excited about that.
Great.
So I got a meeting with a forester today. Is that right, Joe? Out at the new health building, looking at removing some of those trees. Supposed to be meeting with Randy Allen this afternoon. Salute meeting tomorrow at 11:30. MMRPC board meeting at 4 tomorrow. I think that's. I won't be here the week of the 9th through the 14th, so, of July, so you guys know.
Yep, it's all limited agenda.
Yep,
Okay.
that's all I got.
Okay. I got a National Guard meeting tonight. I'm going to be speaker at the Jet City Host Lions Club tomorrow at noon. Central Region Workforce Board. Thursday's United Way Pace Setters Breakfast. I got leadership and MSP, so that's all I've got. Any commission comments?
Not yet.
Okay. Bids and contracts. Bid award 2018-0013, electronic health recorders and signing agreement.
Okay, this was actually bid out in February of 2000, earlier this year. There was 4 vendors that actually bid on this. I think there's a bid tab attached there. They did some demos with some of the vendors, and they've decided that Patagonia is the best fit for what they need at the health department. There has been a little delays with the bandwidth issue, and we wanted to make sure that was fixed before we went into purchasing a new electronic record systems. In the meanwhile, with conversations with them, they've decided that maybe they don't need as many users in the system, so the price has come down. So I might, Christy has anything?
We were, right now WIC uses our HR to do their scheduling, but they're gonna use the MOWIN system that they have to use from the state for that, so we were able to decrease the number of users to 10. So the first year cost would be $31,800 instead of the $37,240 that we originally thought. But we did a lot of research and talked to a lot of other counties that had this system, and it is more suited to local public health agencies than medical clinics. A lot of the other counties are very satisfied with it, so we'd really like to go with it. And now that Brian has the bandwidth issues are going to be resolved, we think it is the right time to upgrade our 14-year-old system.
So we don't really have a contract.
We do.
We do?
Yeah, we got it yesterday. And
Okay.
was able to review it.
Yeah, the only thing I had with it and is it has a binding arbitration provision, which I don't like. And Mary passed that on, and it had the venue being in North Carolina and under North Carolina law. They did change that to venue is Cole County, Missouri, and Missouri law, but it's still binding arbitration. They're not in it. That's, I put it this way, that's probably as good as we're gonna get. And I just wanted you all to know, in case of dispute, it is arbitration rather than typical litigation. That's all I have to say.
It's the 31A. And there was some questions about some of your stuff, Brian, and it was in here, so we are ready then. I would ask for you to award the bid to Patagonia and then sign a contract with them.
So the only thing different from before is it's cheaper now.
Yes.
I like that.
Me too.
So can we delay it a little longer?
Uh,
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I think we were just waiting for Brian to get the bandwidth stuff taken care of.
Right.
So it's less than what the total 5-year cost was that we got on the bid?
Yes. Here's the updated. That may have this right off that.
Was that the one you attached, the 67,997?
Yeah. 31.8 first year. And we will, I mean, anytime you transfer from one system to the other, we'll have to keep CGM, our old system, for a little while until we can get the files transferred over, but that's pretty standard. We have a lot of requests for interns, so we thought maybe we can get an intern in for free and have them transfer some data. But
There won't be any problem moving it to the new building or anything. It'll just be on the computer.
Right.
Brian says no.
So after the 5-year cost, then it's just a maintenance agreement every year, or?
I don't know what happens after the 5 years. I imagine that you'll have to keep the same, you know, to keep the upgrades, it'll be the same, but I guess they just project it out 5 years.
Most of them won't give you any longer
Yeah.
what the maintenance
Right.
cost will be.
Right.
They'll reevaluate it.
He
Stick
said
it
we
to
had
you
this
in
one
year
for
6.
14 years, so.
Okay. I'm good. You got a contract, Krista?
We do. I think it's this last page that you have to sign.
I move that we sign the agreement for electronic health records with Patagonia Health.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Yes?
Can you add award to the beginning of award bid first?
Well, if we signed the agreement, we did award it.
All right, if that's the way you want, it's all right with me.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I don't care how you do it, either way you want.
Bid award 2018-0030 microfilm scanner.
Okay, this was a microfilm scanner that we opened the bids Friday on. Actually, only one vendor bid, and it's kind of the pricing that we thought it was gonna be, so I'd ask for approval of the microfilm scanner to Missouri Document Solutions in the amount of $7,995.
Should you email that to us?
Yes.
It's not attached to the.
Oh, it's not.
Who's this for, Debbie?
Recorder of deeds.
Okay.
And this will be paid for out of the Recorder's Trust Fund.
Ralph was talking about it in one of the meetings the other morning, and it sounded like there's probably time to update it.
We have two microfilm viewers right now. One of them is 2000 and the other one is 2006. They're very large and very bulky. And machine is small, compact, and more technologically capable and allows us more. So we will benefit not only from the new technology and being able to digitize the documents that are viewed on the macrofilm viewer, but also by eliminating the 2000 and the 2006 microfilm viewers that we have in the office now. By eliminating those, we create room to add 2 more plaque cabinets for surveys. And that's important because right now I don't have any place for 2 more cabinets. But with this purchase, not only does it help us with microfilm and digitizing, but also the space it frees up, I can turn right around and use for the future expansion and of additional surveys and plans. So it'll provide the capacity for growth, probably for 4 years or so.
I move that we sign the equipment services agreement with Missouri Document Solutions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any unfinished business?
It's not really a contract, was awarding that bid, and I'm gonna do a PO for that scanner. That's just their bid right there. So if
Okay.
just awarding the bid for 2018-30, and then we'll do a PO.
Is that what I said?
I thought you said a contract or something,
Okay.
because I don't think we have.
I don't have to sign anything.
No.
Good. Any unfinished business?
No, sorry.
Nope. New business, accounts payable.
There is one invoice that we've got to let get paid today, so we don't have late charges from the circuit clerk. So if you could, pending review, I'd ask for approval of accounts payable.
Can they not get it in on time?
And called the day after, we ran checks the last time.
So the answer is yes?
Yes.
They didn't get it in on time?
Yeah, I would say yes. But to avoid service charges, it's up to you guys.
Circuit clerk needs to get their act together. So. I move that we approve accounts payable pending review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. First reading of budget adjustment number 3.
Okay, this is for $10,540.72. This is for insurance money that we will be receiving on the Bill Farr's vehicle. That's, actually, we have received the money. So then we can turn around and pay the vendor to fix the vehicle. No action today, just first reading.
Okay.
Okay. Discussion of J.B. Jackson property abatement, number 2018-01003.
This is a property located out in Russellville. Commission originally signed an abatement order December 26th of last year. And the owner, I believe the owner's attorney has come up a couple times. I have still not had any contact with the property owners to date. Very little, if anything, has been done since the last meeting. In fact, the burn pile that he was burning has honeysuckle growing over the charred bales. He has got some of it cleaned up, but work is pretty much ceased out there, and now it's overgrown with weeds. The bids had not been closed, but we would have to rebid it with the 2 lowest bidders, is what Jennifer suggested, is recontact them to see whether they're interested in adjusting their bids. So save the cost of re-advertising, but Cole County's recommendation is to abate the property.
I think we've tried to work with them.
I tried to work with him, we tried to work with another property owner, and to no avail, and we've had to hire people to go in and clean the place up, so, I mean, working with somebody is them giving a valiant effort before it comes to us. I mean, they get notified and notified and notified, and they have months. They were making a progress, and it's different, but, I mean, this one won't be cheap.
Is it a bigger property? I don't remember this one.
This is the one by the football field there.
Cardboard. property.
Cardboard's all the,
Oh.
yeah.
One
I'm
of,
sorry, I was reading through something when you started that. Okay, I saw the name of this one, it was just referred to, it's Russellville. So,
It's 11.89 acres.
yeah, never mind, I know exactly which one I'm talking about. Saw something shiny over here. Yeah, we need to do something with that. I heard they were bringing more stuff onto the property. Did you say at one time too?
I did not see any evidence of when Joe and I were out there yesterday of any new cardboard, but, a month and a half ago, I did see a truckload of new cardboard, but I didn't see any evidence of where it had been offloaded onto the property.
they gotten rid of any of the cars or anything out there, Mike, or?
The only car that I've really said anything about is the Mercedes. It is still there. It's been moved a couple times, but it's in very bad shape. Windows down. Basically rusting in place. Some of what was back there behind the trailers, he has worked some back there, but there's still a lot of scrap, trash, garbage, cardboard. There has not been a lot of change. There's been some bales burned.
Do you have any other resources to get this cleaned up, like?
Well, Jeff,
I mean, is there a way that we can, take possession of the property and sell it as is, or for somebody to clean up?
Well, you have the remedy of putting the costs on the tax bill. And if that remains unpaid, then Larry, correct, you sell it in a tax sale?
Yeah, after
And-
3 years.
And whatever, our cleanup costs can be recovered from,
Well, that's only, the problem that there being is that the cleanup costs may exceed the value of the property, and you still have to clean up the house, and there's so much more there that, I mean, the only thing that's value there is the land.
That's the problem with that one out there on
Right.
Andy Creek too, that was a quarter of an acre. So
Mhm.
what we did to it's gonna be more than what that little point's gonna be worth too, so. It's a double-edged sword that we're basically gonna eat the cost on it. Unless we wanna make a park out of it.
No.
no, no.
Yeah, I shouldn't even mention stuff like that. So I said, don't record today.
Jinxed it,
But-
anyway.
Well, you're gonna go with the two lower bids again, they get a chance to rebid it.
Yeah, so much has changed out there since the
Right.
original bid and the walkthrough that we did from that original time, that I don't,
I mean, I would
So
just,
it's gotten worse.
I don't think it's
No.
gotten better.
it's gotten better, but
I'm
there's
fine
still a
with it.
lot of stuff out there.
If I remember correctly, I was fine with the low bid then even.
Yeah, but he was,
Now.
Yeah, but he was
he was gonna
recycle some of the cardboard. I don't,
Right.
cardboard's not worth anything anymore, so.
Have you talked to Leland again?
Leland,
At Leland or Hard from Missouri Solid Waste Management District?
I have not. last time I talked up there, they said and I got in touch with, they put me in touch with DNR. There's really nothing available.
So I thought he had kind of expressed that the cardboard was not recyclable, so I don't know if it was recyclable from the get-go anyway. I know that.
From what I understand, the one contractor had the recycler out there and that they were interested in if they were gonna pay him so much per ton. And that was the reason his bid was so low.
Have it bring it back out, and see what they'll bid on the remaining.
I mean, I'm okay with rebidding it again as long as we let them know that we are gonna award it and we are gonna move forward on it. And we're not gonna give the property owner any more time. I don't wanna waste anybody's time, and I think several of them expressed some of that
Yeah,
concern that,
I've heard that from several contractors.
I mean, I don't know. So you're gonna take the low two?
Go back and give them to the opportunity to come back and put a price on it.
Revise it.
Mhm.
But you think it's gonna come up more? Or less?
I think one of them probably up, the other one will come down. I don't know how else to put it without, there's not as much recyclable there as was there.
No, that first one was so cheap, but I think he was looking, it's,
I'm not sure what his plan on getting out of that cardboard, but
That's
I'm
if we
fine
can
with
get
that,
both of them to
too.
come back out.
Yeah, and that's only if they'll come back out, otherwise we're gonna have to start back from scratch.
Okay. I guess see what you can find out, but I mean, and just as long as we're on the same page that when we bid this and we get the bids, we're gonna award it. So that
Mhm.
Mike can relay that to whoever's gonna bid it.
I'll send them out a letter today. I still have no phone number as well.
well, we could see if the first one would still honor his bid at that price. I mean, he's not gonna have some of the cardboard to get rid of. They earned a lot of that, right? I don't see what value there was gonna be in that cardboard though. Leland knows his stuff with the recycles. He said those bales weren't worth anything.
Well, and since the city's gotten out of their contract with the local provider, because cardboard is worth nothing, so they don't even, I mean, it's not even worth their time to pick up cardboard anymore, so. So I'd imagine that cardboard's just taking a huge dive. But, I mean, I'm okay with asking both of them, and doesn't hurt to ask.
Because if he would still honor his lowest bid, we could go. He could
Yeah.
start tomorrow.
If you will.
see what he says.
Says no, then we just rebid it, get them to rebid it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's all I would do. I mean, if he's listening right now, he's gonna say, well, I'm not gonna honor that bid, I'm just gonna bid it higher next time.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
okay.
But if he'll take it for that, and he wants to get rid of this stuff, that'd be great, let's get it moving.
Is that all direction you need, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Surplus titles for sheriff's department.
I have 3 vehicles here that the sheriff would like to put to auction. And you'll see some new vehicles in the accounts payable for the next time.
He's just worn out, John, or?
Just time to cycle them out.
They all only got 50,000 miles on them.
That's when we got them.
Oh, that's when we got them.
I guarantee you that if they got 50,000 miles on them, then they don't have an engine or tires or transmission.
I move that we sign are we surplusing these?
Yes.
Move that we sign the titles for surplus.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Signing of Show Me Healthy Women contract with Cosmo DHSS.
Alrighty, this is our annual renewal of the Show Me Healthy Women contract. It covers screening for breast and ovarian cancer. The clients come to us, we send them, currently it's been JCMG, but I'm not sure they want to renew, so we're exploring options with other hospitals. And then they send us the bill and we pay for the screenings. So it's for women who don't have insurance. And Jill has reviewed the contract.
I move that we sign the Show Me Healthy Women contract with Missouri DHSS.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll jump around a little bit. We'll go on your signing of the agreement with All System for access to Health Department building. Who's got that?
I do have that. This was the latest that Greg had brought you guys with just the one door for the access, and then keeping the other doors with the key punch, I would assume. And this is for $3,369.
Okay.
Jill did review this contract.
Guys good with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better than,
Move that we sign the agreement with All Systems for the new Health Department building access.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Discussion of Economic Development Services RFQ.
So just wanting to start the process of putting our economic development services out for bid, and just wanted to make sure that we were in agreement for publishing the RFQ for that RFQ. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get on that because we talk about doing that every year, right in the middle of the budget.
right,
So that's too late at that point, so.
okay. So you're okay with me putting that together and putting it in the paper?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I needed.
Okay. Port Authority approval discussion.
Whose is that?
That's since we're gonna be approving that, next week. I thought we ought to see where we stand before they come, and I think you're meeting with Randy. I think both of you are, so. I had asked him if he needed us to approve everything at one time or just the application that goes to MoDOT. And they had lowered the matching funds from $500,000 for us, $500,000 for the city, and $250,000 down to $150,000 from us, $150,000 from the city, and $75,000 from Callaway. So, he said he'd like to do it all at one time, but I said I didn't know if we were to that point yet. If it's just approving the application to go to MoDOT, I don't think, yeah, I'd rather see it be approved before we, so, I don't know where you guys,
So we got two separate issues there. So we got an application to MoDOT to become a port authority for a 2-county district. I'm good with that.
okay,
Good with that, Jeff?
Yes.
okay.
Okay, so the second issue becomes a grant application for design work for a port. So anyway, just in some of my meetings with Randy, I don't, I'm not sure where I'm at on that. I really would like it to be more fast-tracked and to actually have some smaller scale project that we could see come to fruition and construction begin in a shorter time period. So, I mean, I don't wanna I wanna talk about something for 2 years and invest in massive design of something that may never happen. I think if you put things in smaller baskets, you can accomplish one thing and then move on to the next. I mean, some type of a phased approach. I think there's a fairly good plan of what all could be encompassed in the port, but you know, sometimes you have to do something to build momentum to do more. And so that's just some of the things that I had talked to him about. So so I haven't seen what the new grant application and what the design is for, and I haven't reached out to Callaway County to see where they're at all on it either. So
Yeah.
I mean, because it all, you know, if we're all not in, then these numbers really don't matter.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why I just asked him if we could just approve the application and then just, and I think he would, they will be here next week to answer any questions we have, but since it is on the agenda, I think we better.
I'm just curious how they reduced the money that far on it. I gotta meet with Randy today, so I guess some of those questions will get answered. I don't know, there's a lot of questions on it. Applying for the port is one thing, but then the money part's gonna be another thing. Right now, it's not just the port, they're wanting money for MSP, we got railroad spur, we're gonna have a new judge in 2020. Everybody's running, if they start giving out money, the sheriff's gonna be over here.
I want a pool.
Cool.
Hey.
Collectors.
you got an armored vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should look at
Kiddie
that.
pools to put in the back of it.
There you go.
So.
Did you get your Batman? Okay.
I'll meet with Randy today and see what's going on with it. I mean, it's one thing to throw a little seed money in there we don't even know if we're gonna get the grant.
Yeah.
We're just saying if we get the grant. But then who gets to pick how we do the design along the lines you're talking? Do we go, you know, all in? Or do we, you know, do it like you eat an elephant, you know, one bite at a time? So we need to probably be on the same page on that or try to figure out where we wanna go with that. I don't see this being the last part of the money that we're asked for it either, so. Gotta be real careful, where do we put the money at, you know, once it's actually come to fruition, or do we put it up front to help put the seed money there and get it going? And then we get more players to the table at that point, or do you bring the players to the table and say, you guys are gonna have to help get this going too? So, I don't know, there's a lot of different ways to do that, and we've talked about that before.
I think it's great to have a master plan to encompass everything that's available there. But at the same time, you know, you may not be able to implement the master plan all together and spend 50, 60, 100 million, whatever it is. So let's.
I think just putting the railroad spurs and then putting that grading to go over the Union Pacific tracks, that's gonna be.
Well, so, you know, it may not all be able to happen at once, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's a good chunk that could happen and maybe substantially less, and if the grant is up to 25 million, you know, there's money there that not only could you do, I just don't like doing design if you don't think you're gonna do construction. I mean, that's just the first step. So let's design it, let's construct it. I mean, design, bid, construct. So that's just what I wanna see. I don't wanna see design and then we talk about it and then it ends up being like a MSP or something that takes 10 years to happen. So there's a lot of momentum there, and we have a lot of players that they start seeing stuff happening, and we'll start getting people that'll come in and they'll invest in it, and it'll blow up. But,
Yeah, that's what I was talking, when I talked to Randy yesterday, was, yeah, that once we get the plans, then you go out and talk to the players, because you've got something to show them, so, but, yeah, you guys are gonna meet with Randy, so, you know, give him your opinions and ideas, and then, you know, if we can just approve the application, I think we're all comfortable with that.
I'll reach out to Callaway and
Yeah.
just see where they're at. I know they were split up there, so. It was gonna be 2-1, one or the other.
Yeah, I think right now we're just kind of uncertain as to, so I don't think. But,
So we see them next week then?
yeah, they're on the
Okay.
agenda for next Tuesday. I
When
think-
on Callaway's.
I don't know, the cities, it's on cities next Monday, and then we're Tuesday, and I don't know when Callaway meets.
I'll see Gary.
So, yeah.
I'll see Gary tomorrow.
Yeah,
Cause that changes it too, if they're not gonna put any money into it. And I know they want them to be a part of it as a regional court. It'd also be nice if they put a little something into it. If we're gonna do it.
well, I think the way the board is structured, I think they, in order for them to be a part of it, I think they would have to put money in.
Well, but there's economies of scale there by having them part of the Port Authority too, because, I mean, obviously they have the north side of the river, but that Port Authority encompasses 2 entire counties.
Mhm.
So it's not just about being right there on the river, it's about a bigger area that could qualify for incentives or other financing for certain people to build within that Port Authority.
Oh, I'd like to have them be a part of it. I really-
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I mean,
Roger's been, he's been the pusher and the mover and shaker and so.
That gave you your answers?
Yeah. Have anything else?
So I need to add that to next week's agenda, the Port Authority discussion. I didn't.
Well, we've got the chamber, the chamber should be on there already.
Okay. I'll double check that.
Yeah, check and see, but it should already be on.
Okay. I do have a question. Board of E, I sent you guys some calendar invites out. We're trying to get it on your schedule. So it wasn't looking like the 26th and 27th of July was gonna work. So I'm asking for July 30th, the morning of, from 9 to, well, actually all day, from 9 to 4:30, if that's possible with you guys. July 30th.
What are we talking about, Debbie?
Board of
Board of
Equalization.
Hold on. Let's go back to the Port Authority thing, that's not on the agenda for next week.
No, I'll
Oh,
put it on
okay.
there.
Separate line on there that's,
Come on.
I'm not sure.
I knew, I didn't get the email. I don't get the email. I don't know
We
anything
do
about
need
it.
that.
Yeah, we do, okay.
Yeah,
I think it should be Port Authority approval.
Mhm.
Randy Allen sent a calendar invite.
Yeah, and that's on there, but that's a separate thing, but I wanna make sure that it's on the commission agenda.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Go back to July 30th then.
Yes.
We're done with that.
Yeah.
Board of E, setting some time aside for Board of Equalization.
Yeah.
All day on the 30th or in the afternoon on the 31st. You're already here for an agenda on the 31st, so.
We usually do a couple blocks, don't we, and see how many we get?
Right. So right now, that's it. If we can do all day on the 30th and a half a day on the 31st.
Yeah, when I talked to Dawn yesterday, we didn't have anybody, but I know we'll get some of the big box.
Yes.
Those days work for me.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Okay.
Now, we deleted some, or I got the notification that they were deleted off the calendar yesterday.
Yes.
Did you take some off?
Yes, well, I had just sent you that for the week, the Thursday and Friday before, but I didn't check with anybody, and Sam was.
It's
had
sidewalks
something
down
going
there.
on.
We could do it out in on the sidewalks. Of course, our street's gonna be torn up because they're gonna do what they did to this block, they're gonna do it to our block starting July 5th. So anybody wants old bricks or railroad ties or,
So you can't here because you gotta do sidewalks now?
yep,
You don't have people work for you?
yep.
Did you let them do it? They told me to keep you out of there anyway, so.
Chris is working. I'm not really sure what we're gonna end up doing with the street torn up. It might have to move racks over here in front of on the
No.
sidewalk here.
No, I'll
Put
have
it
you
on the
arrested.
agenda. You can ask next week. Add that to the agenda
Get
too.
shoplifted by.
Samuel's request to put
Headed to the courthouse.
sidewalks there.
I'll do it on the sheriff's side.
It's a city issue.
I do have one other, just bringing it up now, the assessor's office, and they're getting ready for DevNet and all the changes that are happening. For whatever reason, didn't know it was coming, but they need 3 computers and monitors and 4 scanners to make sure they're up and ready so we don't delay moving into this DevNet situation. Would you like them to come on the agenda? Would you like to? He's willing to pay that out of their budget. I would just have to do a transfer out of contingency into computer purchasing for the assessor's office. So, other than me giving you a transfer to do that and giving Brian the okay to order the equipment, is that okay with you guys?
3 computers and 4 scanners?
Yes.
What we said.
Computers and monitors and 4
Right.
scanners. For an estimated total of about 9,000.
What kind of computers are we getting?
I don't know, that came from Brian.
I mean, $1,000 for a computer and a monitor, and what kind of scanners are
They're
we getting?
definitely higher end scanners. They're kind of probably what we have. They're like $1,100 a scanner.
Okay, well, I'm at 7,000.
Maybe he was just going high, and hopefully they'll come in cheaper. I can get it to exactly what it is.
Yeah, Brian was here and then he checked it out and left.
Keep talking
I can
about
get it
it
to
here in a
exactly.
minute.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
over to the sheriff's department, leave it alone.
Yeah.
If this is all from one vendor, it probably should be bid.
Well, that could be under state
State
contract.
contract.
Oh,
It's a state
state contract,
Yeah.
okay.
Can you just get us some numbers on it? I mean,
Yeah, I can have Brian
I'm
write
okay
the
with it,
numbers.
I mean, but, you know,
So you'll,
but,
yeah, I can do that.
Okay. I was still looking at something else when you talked about that. Was that included in on his list of stuff for this year? Or why
The
do we have to do
assessor,
it now?
no.
I don't think they knew what they were gonna need when the DevNet conversion was done.
They didn't.
So,
And their process of when they scan now, they actually, I think, they
It's
don't.
on the copy machine is the way.
Yeah, they use a flatbed scanner. This is a lot quicker for them. They're actually using 3 of our scanners.
So they have one that doesn't even have a feeder?
I don't know. I know they're using 3 of our scanners now, which would be similar to what Brian would order for them.
this is something that they have at their desk that they can attach stuff right to the document, right?
Some they have at their desk, some they have at the counter, so when a customer's standing there, fills out their assessment sheet, they can scan it immediately and attach it to that customer.
I see.
It's a much faster process than what they currently have.
Before, I think it was just all in bulk, so then they had to go looking through each person.
I see.
That's the way I understood Alvin.
Yeah, and the computers Brian's getting now are like $1,000, $1,100. They're pretty high powered compared to what, I'm just telling you, it's a lot better than what Dale used to buy us the minimum thing for $500 or $600. The speed wasn't fast enough. They'd lock up on occasion, so that Brian's buying much higher quality equipment that lasts longer.
When Brian did say he may have to upgrade some of the other computers to have the Windows 10 or whatever it requires, that they're not on that computer right now, on the other older ones now.
Okay.
So that's probably why he made it in higher.
I would go with Brian's recommendations. I
Okay,
think
I'll get
he's-
some totals from him and estimates. One other question, recorder of deeds, again with computers, at budget time this year, he sent up a list of stuff that he wanted. None of this stuff was actually, in my mind, nor Christian's actually ever approved. But I do have an invoice here of some wirings that he had done, that he thinks that we're supposed to pay for. So that's, and the scanner was on here too. So that's, I was very specific when we awarded that scanner this morning. It would come out of the recorder of deeds fund, and he agreed to that.
Okay.
So this stuff, I need to talk to Ralph about why I'm receiving invoices for, I think in his mind, he thinks it was approved just because it was turned in. So I just want you to be aware of it.
Was that when we were doing the remodel down there? Or is this something different?
No, it's something different.
So if Brian had included any of that stuff in his budget, then that would be somewhat different, but.
That's right.
Yeah, but if Brian didn't include it in his budget, then it's gonna, in my opinion, it's gotta wait. So,
Yeah,
Wait,
I can give you the
yeah,
list.
'cause you
I
got,
mean,
you
you
got,
submit it?
you got,
but you're saying it's already done. We have the
Well,
invoice.
there's one invoice there. I don't know what's going
It's already
on.
done though.
That one is, yes.
for how much?
I think it's 600. Sam, what's that invoice underneath there?
but this one's 17,000.
No, the
The total.
invoice.
Oh,
Invoice on the back.
oh. $684.72. Second floor rack.
It's kinda-
recorder's office.
Right.
I don't wanna speak for Ralph, but he and I actually had a conversation about this list yesterday, and what he thought is he had turned this list in with his budget. He was under impression those items were approved, but the money for them came out of his budget, but directly went into Brian's budget, so they were paid for.
And I talked to Brian, they are not on his list.
Okay. We just need
So I
to-
just wanted you to be aware of it. I'm going to talk to Ralph about it, saying this was really technically not approved.
Mhm.
You need to come before the commission if you expect the commission to pay, or Brian to pay, so.
Okay, well, this could come out of his budget, I mean, it's
Yeah.
$684, so.
Okay.
I'm sure he's got that somewhere.
Well, he's paying for the scanner.
Anything else?
Nope.
Jeffrey?
No. I mean, Christie talked to us about a water fountain. I didn't get with her on that yet.
Since you're kind of overseeing the health department.
Is that the water fountain that they took out?
It's the one in the hall where they'd like to put a water bottle refill or so.
Yeah, they want to convert it to
Yeah.
water filling, bottle filling
Yeah.
station two.
So it's, since you're overseeing,
Well, it's just, you know, as we suspected, you know, it just all escalates, and so, I mean, I'll get with Christie and we'll
yeah.
prioritize some of that stuff, because some
And
of
that
that
may be
stuff.
something we can do next year.
Right.
All right, too.
As long as the plumbing's there and we can figure something out, but, I mean, obviously they're fixing drywall, you know, we may need to move that up just because it makes more sense to do it now while we're fixing drywall and painting and doing all that stuff, but I'll take a look at it when I'm out there today.
I mean, it's another one of the small items, but all the small items are gonna add up in the end, so.
Oh, yeah.
When it goes to a $500 kit or something, so.
No, I get it.
The way I understand, Greg is getting some bids coming in yet today, so he wouldn't have them. So I could put an update of the health department and stuff for next week's agenda again too, if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Probably good.
that's, yeah.
Yep.
I think that's about it. We've had a bunch of emails and stuff, and I think I'm halfway caught up. So, that's it.
stand in recess till 4:30.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.